Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Debbie, and today we're going to be making a blueberry cinnamon roll and also regular cinnamon roll using my Cuisinart bread maker. If you're new here, hit that red subscribe button. I'd love to have you. And hit the thumbs up. I always like a thumbs up. Also, hit the bell icon so you're notified of every video I upload. So keep watching for this delicious cinnamon roll. It's coming your way. Okay, so I brought you in closer so you can see what I'm doing. The first ingredient we're going to add to our pan is a 1/4 cup of melted butter mixed with a 1/4 cup of water. Butter and water. Cute little spatula my sister gave me for my birthday. It says, "Bake the world a better place." So cute. Then to that, we're going to add 1 cup of milk. One egg. To that, we're going to add 1½ teaspoons of sugar. And I have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt to put in, so I'm gonna put that in and then add my other 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. So we've done our sugar, 1½ teaspoon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now to that, we're going to add 1 box of vanilla instant pudding. And it's just a small box. This is the 3.4 ounce, and I just got the great value from Walmart. Gonna add that. Ooh, about dropped it, made a mess. Then we're going to be adding our flour. 4 cups of flour. And I'm using a 1/2 cup measuring cup. So hope I don't lose track. So I usually try to count out loud. 1. 2. 3. And then we have 4. And you know what's next, don't you? If you've been here watching me a while, I always say I like to make a little hole, little well. And that's where I put my yeast. The yeast will be 2 1/4 teaspoon. And I am using the bread machine yeast. This is so nice to buy this jar and you just have all this yeast. Comes in very handy, so you don't have to keep opening all the packets. So 2 1/4 teaspoon. There's 1 teaspoon. 2. and my 4th. Right there. Pulled my bread machine over. I'm gonna sit it right in there. Turn it. Turn it on. We're gonna choose the dough cycle, which is 8. There's your numbers. Again, I'm using the Cuisinart Compact. And press start. Just starting to mix it up together. And we'll come back and check on it when it has mixed it all together and kneaded it. Looks more like a dough ball. There it is, forming a ball, the dough ball. I'm going to be making some mini muffins. I make them in my mini muffin pan, and then no liner, just spray it, and then I just scoop them out and let them cool off, and I put them in a freezer bag, about 6 in a baggie, and then you have your little mini muffins and just freeze them and get them out when you want a bag, and they stay so much fresher than the ones you can buy in the store, and they're delicious. And they only take maybe 5 or 10 minutes sitting at room temperature to thaw. So something for you guys to think about. If you want a quick snack for the kids, it's good. Make some homemade blueberry muffins, cranberry muffins, lemon poppy seed. Throw them in the freezer. All right. She's got a while to go, so we'll check back. Okay, now for my blueberry filling, I'm gonna make a blueberry cinnamon roll with part of the dough, and then the other part's just gonna be regular cinnamon rolls. So we're going to add, get our blueberry filling cooked and set aside so it can be cooling. So to the blueberries, which the blueberries was 10 ounces, it says, we're going to add 1/4 cup of sugar, 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch. That was a half. One tablespoon of lemon juice. Whoops. And then we're going to be adding about a tablespoon of cinnamon. And a pinch of salt, it says. So we're going to stir this. It says over low heat. Keep stirring until they start to break down. And once they broke down and the berries release their juices, we're going to turn it to medium. And then we're going to bring it to a boil and stir 4 to 5 minutes. And as it boils, it will become thick and jelly-like. And you got to make sure you keep stirring the whole time so it doesn't burn. And then once it becomes thick, we're going to remove it from the heat, put it in a bowl, and then let it cool down at room temperature, or we can cover it and place it in the refrigerator. But you want to do this and have it cool down before your dough is ready. So we're going to get these cooking here a little bit. And I'll speed up the process so you don't have to watch me stir the whole time. Okay, as you can see, it's becoming it's becoming jellied, like stirring the whole time. And so I think we're where we need to be. We're going to remove that from the heat and set that in the fridge to get cooled off. Okay, also while we're waiting on the dough, I'm going to go ahead and make my inside filling for the part that I'm just doing the cinnamon roll. So it's 1/3 cup of melted butter. And then we're going to be doing a cup of brown sugar. I'm making a mess, but that's okay. I'm going to pack it down a little bit. One cup. And then of course, one of the most important parts is the cinnamon, and that is going to be 3 tablespoons. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. It's really according to how much you like in your cinnamon rolls. But they have to taste cinnamony if they're called cinnamon rolls, right? So we're going to stir that together, and we're going to have that set aside to put in on our dough when we roll it out. Okay, so that's pretty well stirred up. We're going to set that aside, and our dough cycle says 19 minutes left. So I'll see you back here in about 19 minutes, and we'll make some more cinnamon rolls, and then we will be letting them rise again. Okay, it's going off. I'm going to unplug it before I remove the pan. It's not hot, so I'm going to just dump it out onto my counter, and we're going to let it rest for 10 minutes. I'm going to cover it and let it rest for 10 minutes. Get the paddle out of here. She's a little sticky. So we'll let her go for 10 minutes. So after it's rested for 10 minutes, I'm going to then prepare my dough, and I'm just pressing it out, getting the extra air out of it. And the reason I'm doing a voiceover is for some odd reason, my microphone decided to stop working for about a minute. I very lightly sprinkled just a little bit of flour over the surface before I start rolling. And I roll it into a rectangle. I would say approximately the size of the rectangle was about 15 by 20, something in that range. Just a nice size that you can get 12 rolls cut out of it. So like I said, I'm going to do half cinnamon rolls and half blueberry cinnamon rolls. So I have the blueberry. I'm going to add, this side will be my blueberry. I'm just going to add a little bit of butter onto the dough itself. There's already butter in there, and there's already butter in cinnamon mixture, but we'll just add a little bit more. Mainly on my blueberry side, I think. So I'm going to spread this compote blueberry gel onto here. I may not use all this because this was actually the amount for a whole batch of blueberry rolls, so I'm only doing half. So I probably should have halved my recipe. I'm gonna have to cut out my husband's snoring. So this side we're going to be adding some of the brown sugar, butter, cinnamon. And actually you probably just don't want to put the butter in there next time. You can just spread the butter on your dough, mix your brown sugar and your cinnamon together and sprinkle that on. It's easier. But we're going to work with what we got. After we get all this on here, then we're going to roll it up and cut them. And you know my skills on cutting everything equally. They aren't good. But what do? We make it work. We just make it work. Took a little intermission. I had to wash my hands. So now we're going to roll this deliciousness up. She's just a little sticky, but sometimes with sweet dough, that's what you have. Pull back here by me. Try to pinch it together so we don't lose too much of our goodness. That might not pinch together since there's oozing, but okay, I have a pan that has parchment paper in it. We're going to use that. So I'm going to try and find the middle here. I think I was right about here on my cinnamon. So I'm gonna see how many pieces I can get out of this. 1, 2, oh boy. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna wash my knife, hang on. I didn't think that all the way through, or I would have started on the cinnamon end. But that's okay. So we're going to try to get 6 out of this one. I might try to go thicker on them. And then we'll get 6 that way. Okay. Now let's get them in the pan. Ooh, this side's messy. Again, not thinking. I'm going to start with this end. This one actually has half cinnamon, half blueberry. That one might be very interesting. Okay. And there they are. Let's get these in a warm place to rise for 30 minutes. And they're out of the oven. And they look like they turned out really good. Golden brown. And the blueberry compote is juicy. And I can smell the cinnamon. Let's give them a taste. Okay, I'm gonna have to try one. I just can't wait. So I got one out. It's a little warm, so I'm not gonna ice all of those, but I'm gonna ice mine individually. I did just make a buttercream icing. I will leave that linked in the description box below. So we're gonna spread a little of that on. And here we go with the blueberry. Whoa. Wow, that's really good blueberry filling. I'll have that linked also below in the recipe, so you can either do the blueberry or the cinnamon, or do both half and half like I did. But that blueberry compote inside there is sweet and cinnamony, and the roll is very soft. And with the icing on it, it's a home run. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.